Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the fourth round of the Coral UK Open, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation, live on ITV Sport, where it's now time to welcome our players. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ricky Evans and Gary Anderson.
Well, this certainly isn't going to last too long, I don't think, even if it's a tight game, because they're two of the quickest players in the sport, and I think they're going to feed off each other, these two. Rapid Ricky Evans, the young fella from Kettering, I think is officially the quickest player, and it'll suit Gary. I think there'll be a load of big scores here, Alan.
Yeah, certainly will be. Ricky Evans, the old saying, he throws his third dart first. That's how fast he is.
Rapid Ricky Evans from Kettering. 5 times he's already played in the UK Open. Gary Anderson is now the favourite to win this thing. He was quoted around about 11-4 with Rob Cross at 7-2 by our sponsors Corals. Michael Smith 7-1. Corey Cadby was at 10s. Gary Anderson from Burnham-on-Sea, just down the coast from here. Runner-up in 2010 to Phil Taylor. So the action underway, and it'll be fast and furious. It'll keep Keith Deller on his toes, our spotter.
He needs to keep on his toes. Oh, Gary Anderson straight in the lipstick. Maximum with the first 3.
I was really impressed with Gary's play yesterday. He got 4 ton-plus finishes as he swept Robert Rickwood ahead. 3-3 to 10-3. That's 4 perfect darts. Can't build on it though.
Yeah, and that was against Robert, who was playing really well at the time as well. He really pushed him.
He had a 1-2-1, a 1-4-5, and do you remember back-to-back in consecutive legs, Shanghai's on 20s?
That's right, yeah. His finishing was impeccable. He's looking good today as well.
How about that? Well, we've got some scores coming through here. Mervyn King against Johnny Clayton, they're locked there. Krzysztof Ratajski now, let's just concentrate on this. 3 for tops. Oh, and he's missed the opportunity, but he's got time on his side.
Yeah, he won't be happy with that one though, because he was continued momentum, as the player says, when you've hit 2 180s in a game, but double 10.
A 14 darter to open it up, and Gary Anderson, the favourite to win this tournament, he's ahead. Pace will suit Gary Anderson, I'm sure. Here he's going to, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him posting big averages at the moment, early days, but he's up around about 106, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him stay in that sort of area.
Yeah, it's the kind of game that's perfect for him, and he's looking like he's hitting the big numbers already. That's his 3rd maximum, and we're only at the start of leg 2.
3 maximums are in the 2nd leg. My goodness. What a start from Anderson. The Flying Scotsman certainly is doing precisely that.
58.
Yeah, just those couple of missed doubles which brought the average down a little bit, but he won't be too concerned at this moment in time because he knows he's scoring heavily.
164. Oh, he's got the treble 20 now for treble 18. Oh, just the wrong side of the wire.
132.
Well, he'll be over the moon with that one, because he may or may not have gone for the bull if he did the treble, because Evans wasn't on a finish, but he is now.
This for a 13 darter. Surely now. Just has to almost bounce it in, and there you go. It is now 2-0. Told you it was going to be quick, and it is.
Well, Ricky Evans must wonder what's hit him here, because he's not playing particularly bad himself. Great setup to leave the double, but never got the opportunity.
Averaging close to the ton mark, Ricky Evans, but not had a double yet. Gary dropped a dart there, almost got one in his ear.
58.
And just
replacing the flight.
Yeah, looked like a flight had fallen out. They set off like a train as Gary Anderson, certainly on the scoring stakes, not on that occasion, but he'll be pretty happy with the start so far. From Ricky Evans' point of view, he's to try and get on the board pretty quickly, especially with throwing first in this leg.
Gary Anderson It's more than 2 years now since he's won a televised tournament. The last one he took was the World Championships. It's
not a bad one to pick, is it?
No, he's been beaten, of course, in 4 TV majors by you-know-who, Michael van Gerwen. It's turned into something of a nemesis of late.
Yeah, well, I suppose he is a bit of a nemesis to a lot of people. But this is a big finish, not this time. Gary Anderson really needs to improve his statistics on, or in the UK Open, because they haven't been particularly great.
No finish this time.
60.
Now, this is a real opportunity for Ricky Evans. Bullseye.
70. Gary, you've won 90.
Well, he had all the bed to aim for there at the ball, but not quite. So, big 20. Oh, nearly bust that one there.
65.
Close to the bull now. Evans. Oh, he's busted. He wanted the single 9.
25.
Oh, big mistake there. Big mistake. Will he be punished?
I reckon he will. Double 8. And he has been. 3-0 Anderson. And this is racing away from Ricky Evans. He needs to get into this game pretty sharpish.
Well, that's always a danger, John, isn't it? When you've got, as Gary's looking for another maximum, 177 just as good.
Brilliant. Didn't fancy the third and the perfect switch.
Yeah, that was a big mistake from Ricky Evans. Obviously had a shot at the ball, good attempt, came back to the board, needed big 9, hit the treble, and then stopped himself having 2 darts of the double to get his first leg on the board.
So quick. Wonderful team of production people. It's putting everybody under pressure. You've got to move pretty quickly here, haven't you?
99.
Yeah, it's good to see when a fast player's actually hitting the big scores. It looks magnificent.
58.
So for 4-0, treble 18 I think he'll go for here. Yeah, he's got it for tops. Oh yes, 4-0 Anderson. And there's a break at the end of this leg. Is it going to be whitewash time for Gary Anderson?
137.
Well, he'll be very happy with the 4-0, no doubt.
140.
Well, he's throwing. You wouldn't be too shocked to see him threatening a 9-darter at some point. These are the scores around the other boards. Mervyn King has taken 3 on the spin to go ahead against Johnny Clayton. Early days in the Owen Rafferty match. Keegan Brown, he's getting a bit of a tanking from Krzysztof Ratajski. Good player, Ratajski.
85.
Stephen Bunting trailing James Watamina. Is Gary Anderson going to go to 5-0?
Well, he's certainly got a good chance. Leaves a finish for 161. As I mentioned, Mervyn King played fantastic yesterday. Krzysztof Ratajski, very dangerous.
96.
Did I say James Watamina? I meant Jermaine Watamina. Sorry, Jermaine.
He won't mind if he wins.
No, absolutely not. Great setup again by Anderson. Double 12 when he returns, and Evans can do note about it.
He certainly can't. Just that one attempt when he missed the ball and then messed up. But Anderson for 5-0.
Well, what an impressive mini session that was. Ricky Evans shaking his head. He is being just bulldozed by Gary Anderson. And at the first break, 5-0. Here in Minehead, Mervyn King is playing really well. Beat Raymond van Barneveld yesterday, and there he goes 9-5 up against Johnny Clayton, a finalist in the Players' Championship, and that's now gone, I'm told, to 9-6. And there are the other scores. Gary Anderson, in 7 minutes 5 seconds, has gone 5-0 up. Nothing between Owen and Rafferty. Ratajski only 2 legs away from victory, and another close one, Bunting and Watamina. 5-all.
Yeah, some good games there, Mervyn King. Ratajski, as I mentioned, a very, very dangerous player. 7 minutes 5 seconds for that first session from Gary Anderson. He can just about boil 2 eggs.
66.
We're having to organise our little meal a little bit earlier than normal by the looks of it.
Not in the same pan, by the way, I would say. Let's get some eggs off Corey.
60.
Anderson 5-0 up.
96.
Averaging just over 96. Ricky Evans, well, he's only had one dart at a finish. He had a dart at Bull, didn't he, which he missed. 1080 for Gary Anderson. That's maximum number 4.
Yeah, he's scoring very well. Ricky Evans, like you say, he missed that bullseye, but he came back to the board, and it doesn't go on the statistics as a missed double, but he had 3 darts at 25, but busted with the first dart.
Well, he could do with 140 just to set himself up. He's got it. So, 68 Gary Anderson.
Well, the way he's been going, 8 tops normally. Tops!
48. Ricky
Is Evans going to get a leg at last? 60. There's the 20. It's a bit high. And now double 10.
40.
And he's missed that as well.
20.
Well, when you don't get too many opportunities and one does arise, they're just a little bit harder to hit.
Anderson having to move across the oche.
Required 20.
Double 10, Evans. Good dart. He's into it at last. Maybe a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Well, he wants to put that first session behind him. All he's got to have in his mind here is, this is a second session and I'm leading 1-0.
Oh, he needed that. Yep, it's positive thinking, isn't it? He can win this one 5-0. Do what Anderson did.
Well, yeah, that's the extreme. As a minimum, he's got to win the session.
134.
Just to get some confidence back more than anything, because he missed. His scoring wasn't too great in the first session, it has to be said. That small chance he did have, he didn't take.
Well, he's refocused and he's hitting the big numbers now, which is what he's going to have to do from here on in if he's going to make a match of it. Never made the last 6 of a TV event, Ricky Evans.
58. Ricky with 127.
Ball!
Great darts. Good call, Alan.
Right in the middle.
Ricky Evans used to work in a part-time in a petrol station in Kettering. Petrol station had a change of manager and he fired him because he took too much time off to play darts.
I wonder if he filled your car up really quickly.
Shame on the manager who did that.
Yes. Stand in the corner.
There's the averages.
Hey. Hey. An acrobatic maximum.
Nerve Kings won, I'm told. Beaten Johnny Clayton 10-8 as Gary Anderson gets his 5th maximum. Touche. Anderson then, 84.
84.
That was a great juggling act there. Double 12.
Oh, what a finish.
Oh.
Gary Anderson. I'm Ricky to throw first.
The rapid tempo continues with Anderson replying.
96.
Well, it's all kicking off now.
Some incoming scores from the other boards.
41.
There'll be confirmation, first of all, of victory for Mervyn King, beating Johnny Clayton to add to his victory over Raymond van Barneveld. Still close in the second match. The young Irishman, Rafferty, the boy who put out Michael van Gerwen yesterday. Ratajski within a leg of victory there, and nothing between Bunting and Watimena.
Anderson going down for 19, should go back up. Yeah, great visit. Gets him just about back in the leg. Evans in a very good position here. He's making a big effort in this session, John.
Yeah, he's looking like a different player since he's come back from the break.
Maybe he's speeded up.
Giving his head a shake very rapidly. So, tops then. Double 10.
30, going with 147.
That's a long way off there.
133. Good dart. Treble 19 he's looking for. Oh, he's gone treble 17 and he's missed it.
85, Ricky, you required 10.
Double 5 required. And achieved.
Let Gary to throw first.
So it's now back to 6-3.
Well, we mentioned about winning the session. It's 3-1 ahead in this session at the moment. Big effort in this leg. He's back in the match.
Well, break at the end of this leg, and if Ricky Evans can somehow find a way to take this, it's very much match on. Gary Anderson will be more aware than anybody of that, and just trying to slam the door in Evans' face.
81.
Yeah, Gary Anderson is a wily old coyote, isn't he? He knows what he's doing.
41.
Ricky Evans, we're told, throws his 3 darts in approximately 3 seconds from there to here.
71.
Quicker than Vincent van der Voort. Another great visit from Gary Anderson, setting himself up down to a ton when he returns.
Yeah, good thinking as well, because he had that in his mind, hitting 7 trebles to leave the ton.
2 tops. He's not done it this time, so he just has to wait and see if Evans can get this 164. Well, he went 2 treble 19s and bull, and it wasn't to be. So Anderson tops for 7-3. Double 10, annoyed with himself there. Oh, double 5. Won't like this.
30.
That's not good.
Yeah, mad at himself there, because it was a good opportunity to go into the break. But this is a massive one. Oh, he's missed tops. He went the same route as Gary, but neither one of them could hit the 2 tops.
Double 5, Gary Anderson. Not a bad marker, that one. He can work in from that, and duly does so. The muscle memory serving him well. And Gary Anderson might have just been edged out 3-2 in the session, but he goes to the second break, needing only 3 more legs for a place in the last 16. He leads 7-3. Mervyn King needed 101 in order to win this, and he duly did. Put it away quite brilliantly, and Mervyn King accounts for Johnny Clayton 10-8, continuing his good form here in Minehead. Meanwhile, Krzysztof Ratajski has swept aside Keegan Brown 10-5. Kind of under the radar a bit, Krzysztof, but he's a very good, solid player, and he'll be respected whoever he's drawn against in that last 16. And there are the other latest scores. Michael Smith, early lead against Ryan Meikle. Rafferty and Owen still locked together, and nothing between Bunting and Watamina. Both those games could very well go all the distance. Doubt if this one will, but you never know. Ricky Evans will have ideas of his own, trailing 7-3.
Yeah, much better session from Ricky Evans in that second one. Could have possibly won it 4-1, but 7-3 at the moment. 6-4 would have been a better indication of how that session went.
He had a really good win in the last round, Ricky. Beat Luke Humphries, who was the 2017 Development Tour champion, beat him 10-6. That's good form.
Yeah, he's a good player, is Luke. One of the players for the future.
95.
Gary Anderson, 47 years old now.
59.
But how he would love to take another major televised title, and he's got the Evans throw under pressure again here. Didn't need that treble 3.
47. $100.
Good ton.
Yep, just gives him the edge again in this 11th leg. First to 10, remember, taking a place.
Well, Ricky Evans likes his snooker, and he's on 147. Can he take it out? He did treble 17.
Gary Anderson 120, Shanghai on 20s. He did this twice yesterday. And is he going to do it again? 20 for tops. Is this going in? No, not this time.
58.
So another chance for Evans for another leg. Tops. 10s. Well, yeah, quite a long way off of the bit there, John.
Yeah, that's an opportunity gone begging for Evans, and Anderson has made him pay. It's another break of throw, and the Scot, the most successful Scottish darts player of all time, he is now just 2 legs away from victory.
140.
Yes, after that bad start from Ricky Evans in the first session, 5-0, he started to perform better since that first session concluded. But he's just missed a couple of opportunities, maybe have the scoreline a little bit closer.
Furious at himself with that third dart, Gary Anderson. But he's moving towards victory now, you sense. Another great first dart.
100.
Ton, 1-2-1, one of the favoured checkouts.
Yeah, I'll be pretty happy with that one. Certainly Ricky back on 360.
21.
He got a 121 checkout yesterday. Treble 17 he needs. He's got it for bullseye.
96.
Well, I didn't need to go for it, so it's good to see that players do that when they're actually going for the treble 17.
40, you require 25.
9-8-8. Oh, 1-12. Good darts.
Shot the 12 leg.
9-3.
Play Ricky to throw first.
2 minutes past 2. I wonder
96.
if Gary ordered his lunch at 2 o'clock or something, because he wants to get out of there, doesn't he? He's really flying towards the finishing line.
99.
Yeah, it's pretty handy for him to play Ricky.
Scores
fast player.
Sorry, Alan. Scores on the other boards.
59.
As we watch this game possibly moving towards its conclusion now. Michael Smith, who's had 4 wins out of 4 in the Premier League. He's 2 up.
58.
And the young Irishman Rafferty now trailing 7-5. And nothing between Bunting and
57.
Watamina still.
That'll be a pretty rapid game as well. Both players very quick. Got some quick players today.
140.
Absolutely. And it's always good to watch. I know there are people out there who like the more measured approach, but
81.
for me, I like the quick players. And this game, I suppose you could argue that Ricky Evans is almost too quick, but Gary Anderson has a
120.
very, very appealing style.
Yeah, he's got a smooth action. When he's hitting it, it's
100.
even better. And Ricky, well, he's
Well, this could be the end. 14 for bullseye. Oh, he's missed it. He's put it into treble 11. Did he get another 11? No, he's gone down
72.
to 19.
Ricky require 108.
Double 16.
92.
long way off the double.
Gary require 12.
And that is the end of the game. Gary Anderson winning very, very comfortably. You won't see too many quicker games than that. Gary Anderson has flown through into the next round and swept aside Ricky Evans. Rapid Ricky bows out. Gary Anderson into the last 16, 10-3.
Sport at the highest level.
And our coverage of the Cheltenham Festival will get underway a week on Tuesday from 1:30. Hopefully the weather will have all thawed nicely by then. Well, this game warmed us up. Blimey, Gary Anderson seeing off rapid Ricky Evans by 10 legs to 3 in double quick time. We thought Ricky was quick, but wow, they didn't muck about on that match. Gary averaging 95, 96 for the tournament. Ricky 87, 5 180s from Gary, and putting away 10 of his 29 double attempts. And Gary is alongside me now. You've been looking at your stats and not too impressed with your latter stages of the match. Been very picky.
Yeah, the end of the game kind of got a bit scrappy, but I like a fast game, but he's too fast. He's a bit quick for me.
Does it kind of put you off a little bit, the fact that he is so fast?
You end up going, you try to follow him, you know. I like a quick game, but he's got me sweating here. You know, that's not a good thing. But no, I mean, he just gets up and throws his darts, you know. There's no mucking about with him, and it's one of the games that goes quick.
Yeah, it's a part of you being so experienced as you are that thinks maybe he should slow down just a wee bit for himself.
I was thinking about myself slowing down.
Of course.
Slow down a wee bit, but no, you just get dragged into the game, you know. I like the quick games, you know, but Ricky's a wee bit too fast for my liking.
Do you know, how long do you think it took you to play those first 5 legs, which you won, by the way, before the break?
I don't know. 7 minutes.
Yeah, you just saw me, didn't you?
No, I've never seen it, no.
7 minutes to get through to the first break. That's just incredible.
Yeah, to me, that's the way that should be played, you know. You get up there, you play the game, you win, you lose, you know. You get on to the next tournament, but no, it's a good game when the players are playing quick and you watch them just throwing and getting on with it.
You enjoy that, but then there are some players that slow the game down on purpose to try and wind other players up.
Really? Never come across
Of course not, no. But then does that make it easier to wind up if you're saying how much you enjoy a quick game and someone's deliberately taking their time?
I've been about a long time, and the boys will tell you, you know how players play, and when they pull a stunt, you know, well, they're not playing the right game, but they end up putting themselves off, you know. But glad to get through. my record's no great here, so yeah, 2 games on a trot.
Yeah, it's not been great. You're missing out on time at home, you know, by winning all these matches and getting through.
Just up the road as well, so.
Exactly, that's not bad. But in terms of your record, because obviously MVG's not here, and since you won the World Championship a couple of years ago, you've been in 3 major finals against, 3 TV finals against MVG, losing to him. He's not here. Does that give you a huge boost that you think it really could be my tournament?
Nah, you know, I mean, the standard players now, you've just got to play. You know, if you go home, the boys play better than you, and there's that much great dart players out there. Even the youngsters coming through, there's something else, you know. But nah, just keep playing, see if we can keep up with them, see what happens.
Yeah. John Part's back, you know.
I know he's doing all right.
4 TV wins now for the first time in over a decade. It's incredible. He beat Ron Meulenkamp earlier on the decider, and he's been reflecting on that with Ned.
Well, John Part, that was an amazing match and an amazing continuing journey that you're on here at the UK Open.
Well, it's something that, you know, I've got this far in the tournament. I've been finishing pretty well. You're always going to have bogey legs here and there on double, but I've been really timing well and punishing people, and haven't even been close to a match till now. And really, I could have been up whatever deficit. I think it was down 7-4. I think I could have been up 7-4 quite easily had I just been as consistent at the double portion. Fortunately, my scoring portion has been good, and that's been getting me the chances. And although I missed a few, which is uncharacteristic, the positive is I was making those chances.
Yeah.
And I kept that in the back of my head. I was winning the scoring game, really. And I knew in the back of my head, if I can just get a shot here and there, the right timing, I can get it.
And that is precisely what happened in the decisive leg, wasn't it? Because you know, he was scoring quite heavily, but you came up with a 140. If you hadn't done that, you wouldn't have been with a chance of checking out.
You know, he was very solid himself. He's a great player. He loves playing here, and I've seen that. And I knew that coming in today. He's done very well in mine head in different events, and I respect the man. And maybe that's why I missed a few doubles early. Maybe I just had in the back of my head I can't afford to miss. And sometimes when you think like that, you do. Yeah. But yeah, I'm very fortunate. I was able to rectify it, and Ron is a great player, and I think that was a fantastic match. I don't know what averages are or anything else, but when we talk about darts, I like timing, and I think that's the most important thing. I was having breakfast with Martin Schindler this morning, and we were talking about that, and he's saying, yeah, timing's the most important thing. He said, I don't know, I've said that once in a while.
John, I mean, I think people at home, the neutral, will be loving this. You're rolling back the years. It's been a while, been a long time, as we talked about yesterday, since we've seen you do this on the little screen, on the TV screen. Are you enjoying it as much as we're enjoying watching you?
Well, I love playing. I love competing. I love the buzz. I love being in that situation. I don't want to be in that situation, but you know what? When you are in that situation, you love it because it's a chance to do something special. And I was fortunate I did. If I hadn't, well, if he'd hit that double, well, it was a great game, and I could have shook his hand and walked away and enjoyed the day. Now I get to enjoy it some more. I get to go play again. So, yeah, that's the main thing. Maybe make the most of it.
How about the 3-time world champ against the reigning world champion? That'd be a good match. I'd love to see that.
I'd love to see it. You know, I think I've had a bit of fortune. I've avoided top seeds in this thing. But, you know, the way I'm going now, and I'm comfortable, and I've been a few rounds, and I've always said that. I got to get through a few rounds. I'm ready to play anybody and try and enjoy it and give them a hard time. I'll be realistic. I mean, the top guys are the top guys for a reason.
All right. Well, it's good while it lasts, and it's continuing to last. Well done, John.
Thank you.
Oh, we're enjoying seeing him back. And Jermaine Watamina is also through to the next round. The last 16 of the UK Open. Look at what it means to him, beating Stephen Bunting in the last half hour or so by 10 legs to 8. So we'll see who Jermaine gets in the draw at the end of this programme. And Robert Owen has just won the deciding leg against young Nathan Rafferty, the 18-year-old from Coal Island in Northern Ireland, who beat Peter Wright, the defending champion, yesterday, has just been edged out by the Welshman Stack Attack even. Congratulations to Robert. Wow, it's all happening here. We're on now to game 3 of the 4th round, and on the main stage it is the world champion Rob Cross, who survived a little bit of a scare yesterday to see off young Nathan Aspinall, and he is up against the Australian Kyle Anderson, who beat Vincent van der Voort in round